Hello everyone. Nice bright morning. It's still morning, but the sun's up above the trees. Should have got out here earlier, but it was a lot colder. I'm still drinking coffee. That tells you it's morning. Okay, as I look out here, I'm looking at the lake. The water is way down. There won't be any boats in that water. And the inlet from the river is only about that wide. You can't get in there anyway. And the ranger told me somebody hit something with their airboat, so there won't be any of those either. All right. As we sit and wait, we're still in a high watch time frame because of the potential calendar differences. There are minor things here and there that we just have to adjust to. That's why we're not given a date. They still haven't fully tore into Israel yet. They're just saying, here I am, be wary because here I am. Well, that's all they're doing. And they're being attacked. Israel's prepared to go into any country that lobs a missile at it. Jordan has closed off their airspace as well as Egypt to Yemen flying over them. So unless Yemen wants 3 countries after them. So that's one of the things they didn't count for, is they didn't count for the Muslim countries splitting over who's helping Israel or not. But at some point in time, they're going to get frustrated enough and they're going to attack. I think of current count, there's been 14 Israeli army deaths. This is fierce fighting. They're defending. But Israel has gone through and cut the top, a little over a third, not quite a half, but a little over a third of the country, gone straight to the sea, so they can't get resupplied now. They can't escape. And all they got to do is just go back and clean up and then do that again and just keep doing that until they get everybody out. If they clean everybody out, the northern part can then be a refugee spot so that the Palestinians have a place to go if they want it. Nobody wants them, which is the irony of this whole thing. The world is too stupid to see none of the Muslim countries want the Palestinians. None. And yet they're making big claims that Israel is massacring them, totally ignoring October 7th. The people are dumb. That's why we're compared to sheep. Sheep are dumb. Okay, so my subject for today, will we recognize the Antichrist? Well, he's here right now, and we don't recognize him. Why? Because technically he's not the Antichrist. He's the man that will become the Antichrist. Well, we're told he's one of the kings. The 7th king, and he will die, and when he comes back, he'll be the 8th. Why didn't he come back as the 7th? Because he's coming back as a new creature. He will have the Polyon in him. And with that, he will become the Antichrist. So, we will recognize him. Why? Demons recognize Jesus, and we have the Spirit of Jesus in him, in us, and we are like Jesus in what we can do. On top of all that, we would probably stop the Antichrist. We have the power to command demons. We're seeing a little bit when we look at the scripture. We have the power to command demons. Get behind me, Satan. We can tell him to get out of the way. Now, it may not be what God's will is, and that's the problem. People are praying right now that the United States be returned to its normalcy. Well, whatever that is. Go back 20 years, where we could still practice church in this country without being put down. I mean, we said the Pledge of Allegiance, and we had prayers in school when I was going to school, but that's a long time ago. I don't know if we want to go back that far. But anyhow, we will recognize the Antichrist, and he will recognize us, and we would probably be a hindrance, if not a total blockage of what he's trying to do. So that's one of the reasons we have to be out of here. We're not subject to the wrath of God either. That's another reason. But I'm just focusing on the Antichrist right now. So let's turn to Matthew 8:28. And when he has come to the other side into the country of Gergesenes, I think is how it's pronounced, Gergesenes. Now notice it said country, and I'm going to stop here for a little bit. This is a country that it was east of the Sea of Galilee. It says in here, if I continue on, eastern side of the Sea of Galilee. Now, that's in my comment. Matthew changed it to Gadara. In some of the writings, they've since changed it back to Gergesenes. The problem is the Gergesenes country is 100 miles or so inland to the east of the Sea of Galilee. That's too far for a herd of swine to wander and then get over to the lake. So chances are they were closer. There is a town there called Gadara, and that might have been named after the country as well. So we're not sure. Matthew or Luke and Mark had Gergesenes. Matthew changed it to Gadarasene or something. I forget what it was now. And they've changed it back, trying to be consistent. But chances are they were wrong. It's immaterial. And it may have been called that for a little while. We don't know. The bottom line is they had to run down a steep cliff into the water. The only steep cliffs are right around the Sea of Galilee. It flattens out further east you go. So it had to be pretty close to the Sea of Galilee. Pigs don't run that far anyway. Okay. So, continuing on with the verse. There met him two possessed with devils. That's basically saying that two possessed with devils, basically saying they had demons in them. The devil doesn't split up, but he has lots of workers coming out of the tombs. Nice place since we just passed Halloween to talk about. Exceedingly fierce, so that no man might pass that way. Some of the stories of the troll on the bridge, well, it's based on some reality. Verse 29, and behold, they cried out, saying, What have you to do with thee? What have we to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time? So there is a time that they will be tormented, but it's in the future. In 8:30, and there was a good way off from them a herd of many swine feeding. Now, I don't know how far a good way off is. See, there's so much that's interpretive. You just got to go with what the words say. So the devils besought him, saying, If thou cast us out, suffer us that we go away into the herd of swine. How many were there? Remember that one said, We are legion, we are many. That one possessed man. So Jesus says to them, 32, Go. And when they'd come out, they went into the herd of swine, and behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea and perished in the waters. It's hard for a soul to wander. You've got to have a body of something to be attached to. And I suppose that when you die, the soul is easier moved on to the next one than it is if it's just wandering. And they that kept them fled and went their ways into the city and told everything and what had befallen to the possessed of the devils. So, of course, everybody tells everybody, so anything that wants to be kept secret, you don't do miracles if you want to keep things secret. And let's turn over to James 2:19. Thou believest that there is one God. Thou dost well. The devils also believe and tremble. So I think that's the real reason, from the earth point of view, why we have to be out of here. Our personal point of view, we're being protected as the bride. But from an earthly point of view, we have to be out of here. Those that truly have the Spirit of God in them have to be out of here. If you're a false Christian, enjoy dealing with these types on your own. You can't. And they will basically flourish when we're gone. This is all planned out. This is all set up. Jesus has got a complete handle on everything. We are not to be afraid. We're told that countless times in the Bible. Jesus specifically, for these times, do not be afraid. That's why he warned about all the things coming, wars and rumors of wars, etc. Don't be afraid. This war continues to linger on. It could last for months. It might have to have somebody step forward and stop it. I wonder who that would be. Rhetorical question. Okay, let's turn over to Luke 14. And as he was casting out the devil, somebody who was possessed, again, they use the word in the translations devil, but really it's demon, and it was dumb. So this person couldn't speak. That was the characteristics of this demon. And it came to pass, when the devil was gone, the dumb spake. And the people wondered, who has the power to cast out demons? If you were to read on, it would say that he's doing this by the power of Beelzebub, or the devil. And he will say that a house divided cannot stand. There's a difference between asking them to come out and casting them out. Okay, so that just again shows you the power of demons and the power of God against them. I've told you this many times. Satan is yay big. God is more powerful and higher than these trees around me. In comparison, it's a grain of sand. We can't compare. It's such a grandiose distance that we can't even compare. So Satan has no power. He's an angel. He was created by God, which means in the beginning he was perfect, pure, no sin. Lucifer was sinless in the beginning. At what point he changed, I don't know. One of the comedians says, I've got teenagers. They are hard to deal with. I bet God, when he created Lucifer, had a good time initially. But if I had to guess, Lucifer was probably 15 or 16 when he turned. He was a teenager. The bottom line is that he got prideful. Probably one of the worst sins. We try to scale him. Pride is up on the top, near the top. Blaspheming God, of course, is at the top, but God doesn't care. They're all the same. One sin, big sin, little sin, doesn't matter. Okay. Let's turn over to Mark. Afterward he appeared to the 11, and they sat at meat. They sat to eat, and upbraided themselves with their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them which had seen him after he had risen. That was Mark 16:14. I don't know if I said that. And in 15, and he said to them, Go ye, this is your great commission, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. I can have an audience of 5,000 real quickly by going and sitting next to the anthill. Actually, they're all underground. It's too cold for them. But every creature, everyone should know. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. He that believeth is the main part. Being baptized is an outward showing that you accepted, but it's not required to be saved. The thief on the cross wasn't baptized, unless you count his own blood. But he that believeth not shall be damned. Rough. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name they shall cast out devils, and thou shalt speak with new tongues, and thou shalt take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. We have the power of God in us as Christians. It enables us to demonstrate to the world who we are. Our best demonstration is our continence, the way we behave. They know we're Christians by our love, but we have the full power. This is Jesus talking. We have the full power of Jesus, of God, to do all the things that he did and more. Casting out demons is one of them. As I said early on, the Christians that if we were to stay would command the Antichrist to go away. Not everybody. Those of us that know the Scripture know why he's here. But there are Christians that don't have all this. The book of Revelation and a lot of the stuff that's got to do with prophecy has been ignored for years by the church. It's too controversial. Or when they quote somebody, they're quoting somebody 100 years old. A lot of our songs are based on people that are over 100 years old. And the problem is they didn't deal with any of the new stuff because Jerusalem and Israel didn't exist. We weren't in the end times, but now we are. We have to visit these scriptures. If your church doesn't teach the end times, get what you can out of it. Help if you can. Remind them of the times that we're in. And if they deny them, I would look for another church because I would worry about how much the Spirit is helping that teacher. All right. Listening to all the birds here, you should be able to hear them in the background. The lake is way out. I think I will walk around for a little bit and show you a little bit of this, so I'm going to tack it on to the end. The Antichrist, the man, is here now on the surface of the earth doing whatever he's doing. He calls him a king. But these kings don't have crowns. They're king in power. Probably one of our billionaires. Probably not our big one world government billionaire. And I'm going to call him Klaus Schwab again. It's probably not him because he doesn't look appealing. The Antichrist is going to be a good-looking man. Or at least above average, so that people will fall for it. They will believe him. Jesus was an average person. He wasn't comely, as it was called. There's a TV show on called Lucifer. They got a good-looking man to put in there for that part. Now, granted, he can change his shape and become the devil that we have pictured in cartoons and in movies. But if he's going to teach you something, he's going to teach you looking good. We judge a book by its cover too many times. But he's here, and we have to get out of the way. So we have to be raptured. Get out of the way quickly, because you look at this war. Why is it not escalating faster? It's waiting, and it's waiting. Here's a war going on, and it's waiting for the right time. We're worried about us. What's the timing for our rapture? The whole world is waiting, watching and waiting. So don't get antsy. Don't give up. Keep running the race. There are times when I was running longer races that I just, as I was training, I couldn't do it. I had to stop. I didn't physically stop. I went from a run down to or a trot down to a walk. When I recovered, I started running again. Just keep moving. That's the key. Keep moving. All right, let's go walk around and take a look at this beautiful park. It's mostly empty, but there are some trailers in here. We'll see some of them. Be safe. Keep your eye on the Lord because it's going to get crazy fast. Okay, I'm walking back from my tent. If you remember when I was here before, these trees were underwater. So all that out there, all that ground is where the water has receded. And it's the same thing over here. And you can see on the other side, beyond that tent, there's a little island there that's now connected. And I'm going to walk out here as far as I can. As cold as it is, nobody's going to go in the water. Let's take a look back. See some trailers in there. A couple of outbuildings up on the top up there. My campsite. There's another trailer up on top of the hill. There's one on the other side of the road over there, but they're not here a lot. Let's walk on down here. Just have to pay attention. There might be a snake or two out sunning themselves. They being reptiles, and the devil being familiar with that. They need to lie in the sun to put energy into their bodies because the cold air takes it away. Okay. That little pipe thing sticking up is the buoy to let people know that's as far as you want to go. You got to stay on this side of it. Yeah, and there's trash out here from people. I mean, on the other side of these trees, you know, there's different little communities out there. You just can't see them in here. The wind is blowing. You can see the fluttering on that tent tarp. I didn't bring my extra heavy-duty stakes, so I may have to jerry-rig something. I got to do one more lanyard because the wind always comes from that direction, right across the water. So it picks up speed. And when it hits my tent, I need to make sure I have it tied down from that direction. I have it tied down from the sides, but I haven't put the other pieces in yet of the lanyards because I don't have my heavy-duty stakes. These little ones, this is hard ground. These are not repair sites like you find in a state park. Even in the wintertime, you can get out and enjoy nature. There's no excuses. As a scoutmaster, we used to go every year to North Georgia, up into the mountains, for what they called Scouters Winter Campout. And you'd get a bear claw for going, kind of one of those things that I got to get out of the mud. I'm stepping in mud. It is quite muddy here. I'm going to have to wash my shoes when I get out of this. All right, let me show you what I did. I stepped in the mud. That part's still wet. My shoes. I got to go back and change my shoes. Pay attention, because I was talking, I walked too far into it. Okay. Time for me to go clean up. later.